happiness of your life hinges on the quality of your thoughts. Each day, your mind functions like a radio tuned to countless stations, generating thousands of thoughts, many of which are silent intruders that shape how you feel and act without you even realizing it. Unfortunately, a significant portion of these thoughts tends to be negative. You've probably experienced spirals of doubt, insecurity, and fear within your own mind, unrelated to any real-world events. You're not alone in this. We all encounter these silent invaders. From an evolutionary perspective, our ancestors needed to be hyper-aware of dangers to survive, leading to a negative bias ingrained in our psychology. This bias, once crucial for survival, now often works against us, keeping us stuck and hindering our progress in the modern world. But what if I told you that you have the power to change this, that you can train your mind to recognize, challenge, and replace negative thoughts with more positive and constructive ones? In this video, we'll explore 14 tactics to help reduce or even eliminate negative thoughts, practical exercises you can incorporate into your daily life that are sure to yield positive results. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's a small gesture that means a lot to us and costs you nothing. Let's begin. Number 1. You are not what you think. We often identify so closely with our thoughts that we start believing they represent our true essence. However, it's important to understand that our thoughts are just products of our mind and do not define who we are. Stoicism, a philosophy that values virtue, wisdom, and self-control, teaches us not to be swayed by irrational or impulsive thoughts. By learning to control our perceptions and reactions to external events, we can lead fuller, more meaningful lives. Remember, it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of those events. To eliminate negative thoughts, start by practicing the separation between your thoughts and reality. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true or that it should dictate your behavior. Question the validity of your negative thoughts. Are they based on real evidence or just unfounded assumptions? Practice emotional detachment from your thoughts. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your feelings, but rather observing your thoughts like clouds passing through the sky. This objective approach helps you evaluate your thoughts from a less emotional standpoint. Finally, use Stoic wisdom to reinforce that you have the power to choose how to respond to your thoughts. Instead of being a victim of negative thought patterns, take control of your reactions. Choose more rational and constructive responses, and focus on what you can change while practicing gratitude for the good things in your life. Number 2. Limit exposure to negativity. Our current media landscape is saturated with negative news, dramas, and tragedies that can significantly impact our emotional and mental state. Constant exposure to such information can trap us in a cycle of negative thoughts, anxiety, and pessimism. To combat this, it's crucial to be selective about the content you consume. Opt for programs, news, and media that promote positivity, inspiration, or lighthearted content to maintain a more balanced and optimistic perspective. This doesn't mean ignoring world events entirely, but finding a healthy balance that keeps you informed without overwhelming you with negativity. Additionally, reducing time spent on social media can be beneficial, as these platforms often amplify negative news and conflicts. Instead, focus on activities that uplift your spirit, such as hobbies, reading, music, or any form of art that brings you joy and contentment. Creating an environment that encourages positivity, whether through the content you consume or the conversations you have, is crucial for fostering a healthier, more positive mental state. By consciously limiting your exposure to negativity and prioritizing activities and information that bring happiness and inspiration, you can build a stronger mental shield against the intrusion of negative thoughts. Number 3. Imagination versus reality. This technique is fundamental in overcoming negative thoughts by highlighting the difference between the internal narratives we create and what is factually true. Often, our minds weave stories based on fears and assumptions that don't correspond with reality. When this happens, it's essential to practice mindfulness by questioning the validity of your thoughts and recognizing them as hypotheses, not absolute truths. Detaching from destructive thoughts is crucial. Understand that thoughts are temporary and don't define your reality or identity. Mindfulness meditation can help you observe your thoughts non-judgmentally and let them go without attachment. Additionally, focusing on real facts can undermine the foundation of negative thoughts. Questioning the reality of your fears can reveal a lack of concrete evidence supporting them, allowing for a more positive and realistic reframing of your concerns. Redirecting your focus to positive visualizations can be transformative. Instead of dwelling on catastrophic scenarios, imagine positive outcomes and situations. This not only eases anxiety but also fosters a more optimistic and proactive mindset. Finally, engaging in activities that promote presence in the current moment can help stave off unnecessary worries. Physical exercise, hobbies, or spending time with loved ones can ground you in the present and reduce the tendency to get lost in unfounded concerns about the future or regrets about the past. Number 4, set realistic goals. This approach helps prevent the frustration that comes from unrealistic expectations and reinforces your sense of accomplishment and self-efficacy. Setting realistic, achievable goals provides a clear path to success, avoiding the disappointment and discouragement that can arise from overly ambitious or vague objectives. When setting goals, ensure they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This framework not only clarifies what you want to achieve, but also makes it easier to track progress and celebrate small victories along the way. Each achieved goal boosts self-esteem and serves as tangible proof of your capabilities. Start with small, easily attainable goals and gradually work toward more challenging objectives. This builds a sense of ongoing progress and success, powerful antidotes to negativity and self-doubt. It's also important to be flexible and kind to yourself when setting and pursuing these goals. Acknowledge that unforeseen events may occur, and adjust your goals as needed without punishing yourself or feeding negative thoughts for not meeting what was initially set. Remember, the journey toward achieving a goal is as important as the end result, and every step toward your goal is a victory in itself. Number 5, the worry jar technique. This useful tool allows you to externalize and analyze your worries in a tangible way. By writing down your worries, you take them out of your mind and place them in a physical environment, reducing mental overload and allowing you to see your worries in a new light. This technique involves writing down each worry and placing it in a specific location, whether a physical jar, envelope, or digital file. The key is to note your worries outside of your mind, where the act of writing helps clarify your thoughts and feelings, making them less threatening and more manageable. By transferring your worries to a physical space, you create a symbolic separation between you and your negative thoughts, which can be incredibly liberating. After writing down your worries, take a moment to reflect on them. Ask yourself which are realistic, which can be resolved, and which are mere speculations without basis in reality. Often, visualizing our worries outside our minds helps us realize they may be exaggerated or unfounded. Set a regular time to review the content of your worry jar, whether daily, weekly, or as needed. During this review, evaluate each worry and decide if it still deserves your attention or can be discarded. For the worries that remain relevant, think of practical actions you can take to resolve them. The worry jar technique not only reduces the intensity of negative thoughts, but also promotes a more proactive approach to dealing with concerns. It encourages problem solving and decision making, increasing your sense of control and reducing anxiety. Practicing this technique regularly can make you more adept at handling negativity constructively, maintaining a more balanced and positive perspective on life's challenges. Number 6, reduce perfectionism. Perfectionism often generates disproportionate internal pressure and self-criticism. The desire to meet unrealistic standards can lead to constant feelings of failure, dissatisfaction, and fear of making mistakes, fueling a cycle of negative thoughts. To tackle perfectionism, start by recognizing and accepting that perfection is unattainable and that making mistakes is part of the learning and growth process. Acknowledge that perfectionism is not synonymous with excellence or success. Instead, it can be a barrier to productivity and personal satisfaction. Challenge the need for perfection by questioning the validity and origin of your perfectionist beliefs. Reflect on the consequences of perfectionism, such as the added stress it brings and how it affects your health and well-being. Identify specific situations where your perfectionism manifests and consider healthier, more realistic ways to approach them. Set realistic, flexible goals for yourself, recognizing that perfection is impossible. Learn to value progress and effort rather than focusing solely on the final outcomes. Celebrate your achievements and progress, no matter how small, and treat mistakes as learning opportunities. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding when things don't go as planned. Remember, you are human, and everyone has limitations and flaws. By adopting a more understanding and less critical attitude toward yourself, you can lessen internal pressure and create a healthier, more positive mental space. Reducing perfectionism doesn't mean abandoning standards or the pursuit of improvement, but rather adopting a more balanced, gentle approach toward yourself. Doing so alleviates the burden of negative thoughts and fosters an environment more conducive to personal growth and satisfaction. Number 7. The abandonment technique. This technique involves a conscious decision to let go of a negative thought by shifting your focus to something tangible and productive in reality. The idea is to control where you direct your attention, which can influence your emotional state. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it, but choose not to engage with it. Instead, direct your attention to an activity or object in the real world that requires your concentration and energy. It could be something simple like practicing a hobby, completing a work task, meeting with friends, or engaging in physical activity. This shift in focus allows you to break out of the cycle of negative rumination and engage in something productive, which generates feelings of accomplishment and positivity. Engaging in activities you find interesting or rewarding creates a barrier against intrusive thoughts, offering a form of healthy escapism and resetting your mental perspective. In addition to providing immediate relief, this technique promotes long-term change in your response to negative thoughts. Over time, you'll develop the ability to quickly disconnect from negative thought patterns, redirecting your energy toward more constructive and meaningful actions in your life. Number 8. Critical questioning. This is a powerful approach to combat negative thoughts by encouraging deep analysis of their validity and origin. This method involves cultivating a questioning mindset where, instead of accepting negative thoughts as absolute truth, you challenge and scrutinize them critically. When a negative thought arises, don't feed it or allow it to spiral into rumination. Instead, ask questions like, is this really true? Are there concrete evidences supporting this thought? Is this thought based on facts or assumptions? And what's the worst that could happen? And how could I handle it? These questions help identify cognitive distortions, such as overgeneralization or catastrophic thinking. Adopting this critical approach allows you to see your thoughts differently, reducing their emotional impact and disarming their ability to disturb your peace of mind. Moreover, by actively questioning the validity and origin of your negative thoughts, you prevent them from gaining strength and control over your emotions and actions. Developing the habit of critical questioning also increases your mental resilience, making you more adaptable and less affected by cognitive distortions or erroneous perceptions. Regularly practicing this technique strengthens your ability to face challenges and adverse situations with a more balanced, rational perspective, significantly reducing the influence of negative thoughts. Number 9. Cognitive reframing. This technique involves consciously changing how you perceive an event or situation, looking for positive aspects or valuable lessons even in unfavorable circumstances. Instead of focusing on the negative aspects or consequences, cognitive reframing encourages identifying potential benefits or growth opportunities. For example, a failure or mistake can be viewed not as a defeat but as a chance for learning and personal development. A stressful situation can be reevaluated as a test of resilience or an opportunity to practice patience and understanding. Practicing cognitive reframing teaches you to control your emotional response to events, shifting focus to aspects you can control and improve. This doesn't mean ignoring negative aspects or denying reality, but choosing a perspective that minimizes the negative impact on your emotional well-being. This shift in perspective can significantly reduce stress and anxiety as you begin viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. Moreover, adopting a more positive view can increase your motivation and optimism, leading to better outcomes and more satisfying relationships. Number 10. The stop technique. This is an effective method to interrupt negative thoughts as soon as they emerge, using verbal or physical commands. This strategy allows you to gain immediate control over your mind, preventing destructive thoughts from intensifying or prolonging. When you notice that you're beginning to engage in a negative thought pattern, immediately use a stop command. This can be something as simple as telling yourself, "Stop, enough," or another term that signals the interruption of the thought. Some may prefer a physical gesture, such as snapping fingers, clapping hands, or touching an object that serves as a talisman or reminder to interrupt the chain of negative thoughts. To use this technique effectively, act decisively. The stop command should be clear, firm, and immediate. After interrupting the negative thought, redirect your attention to something neutral or positive, like an activity you enjoy, a pleasant memory, or a task that requires focus. The stop technique is particularly useful in moments of stress or anxiety when negative thoughts tend to be more prevalent. Practicing this technique regularly can help reduce the frequency and intensity of negative thoughts, providing greater mental clarity and emotional well-being. While the stop technique can be effective for momentarily interrupting negative thoughts, it should be used alongside other strategies for long-term thought management, such as cognitive reframing or meditation. Number 11. Positive social connections. Spending time with people who radiate positivity and optimism can significantly impact your mental and emotional state. These interactions can improve your mood and offer a new perspective that challenges negative thought patterns. The people around us profoundly influence our state of mind, so it's crucial to choose companionships that contribute to your well-being. Positive individuals tend to share optimistic worldviews, inspiring stories, and encouraging words that can help divert your mind from unfounded worries and fears. Moreover, good social relationships offer support in difficult times, helping alleviate stress and anxiety. Spending time with friends or family members who bring good memories and laughter can be therapeutic and an effective antidote to negativity. Conversely, avoiding toxic and negative people is equally important. Interacting with individuals who drain your energy, constantly criticize, or view the world negatively can reinforce your negative thoughts and lower your mood. Distancing or limiting contact with these people may be necessary to preserve your mental and emotional health. In summary, consciously cultivating and maintaining positive social connections can be one of the most effective tools in combating negative thoughts. These connections provide joy and comfort and positively influence your worldview and self-esteem. Therefore, invest in relationships that uplift and help you grow while protecting yourself from the negativity certain interactions can bring. Number 12. Practice acts of kindness. Practicing acts of kindness promotes feelings of happiness, gratitude, and fulfillment for both the giver and the receiver. Performing acts of kindness triggers a series of positive reactions in the brain, releasing neurotransmitters associated with well-being, such as serotonin and dopamine. By focusing on being kind to others, you shift your attention from negative thoughts and concerns to positive, altruistic actions. This can help reduce stress, improve mood, and increase feelings of connection and belonging. Moreover, kindness often generates a positive response from others, creating a virtuous cycle of positivity and gratitude. Acts of kindness don't have to be grand or expensive. Small gestures can significantly impact, like complimenting someone, offering assistance, sharing a smile, or dedicating time to listen to someone in need. Even anonymous acts of kindness, such as leaving a positive note for someone or donating to a cause you value, can boost your feelings of happiness and satisfaction. Practicing kindness also encourages empathy and understanding toward others, helping combat feelings of isolation, envy, or resentment. This reinforces the perception that we are all connected and that our actions can positively impact the world around us. Number 13. Focus on progress. Focusing on progress rather than solely on the final outcome allows you to value the process and the journey. This enables you to see value and purpose in each action and decision, recognizing the pressure and frustration that often accompanies the pursuit of perfect results. Celebrating progress, no matter how small, can boost self-esteem, reinforce belief in your abilities, and promote a more positive mindset. To implement this approach, set clear and measurable goals, breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. Acknowledge and celebrate every achievement, no matter how modest, as a reflection of your effort and dedication. This can include personal rewards, sharing your accomplishments with friends, or simply allowing yourself a moment of pride and satisfaction. Additionally, maintaining a progress journal or a list of achievements can help visualize how far you've come, reinforcing the importance of each step taken. This is particularly useful in moments of doubt or discouragement, as it reminds you of previous successes and renews optimism. Adopting a progress-oriented mindset also means learning from mistakes and failures, viewing them as opportunities for growth and development rather than insurmountable obstacles. This helps maintain a positive attitude even in the face of challenges and keeps negative thoughts at bay. By focusing on progress and celebrating each step, you cultivate a growth mindset that values learning and continuous improvement. This not only helps eliminate negative thoughts, but also creates a virtuous cycle of self-confidence, achievement, and positive well-being, propelling you toward your goals with a happier and more optimistic perspective. Number 14. Recognition and acceptance. Recognizing and accepting negative thoughts as a natural part of the human experience is crucial to reducing their influence and preventing excessive rumination. This process begins with awareness that having negative thoughts is common and not necessarily a reflection of personal failures or weaknesses. Mindfully identifying these thoughts allows you to observe them without judgment, understanding that they are simply products of the mind and not absolute truths about you or your life. Accepting these thoughts without trying to suppress or fight them can lessen their emotional and cognitive impact. Instead of entering a cycle of self-criticism or frustrated attempts to eliminate negative thoughts, you learn to allow them to exist without letting them define your actions or emotional state. A useful technique to facilitate this process is practicing mindfulness, which encourages observing your thoughts and feelings in the present moment with acceptance and without judgment. This helps develop a healthier relationship with your thoughts, recognizing them as transient and not immutable aspects of yourself. Acceptance also involves understanding that negative thoughts, though uncomfortable, can be a source of insight and personal growth. They can indicate areas of your life that need attention or change, functioning as a signal for action rather than being seen as insurmountable obstacles. Adopting an attitude of acceptance does not mean resigning or giving up on seeking improvements in your life and emotional well-being. On the contrary, recognizing and accepting negative thoughts as part of the human condition creates space to address them constructively, focusing on solutions and personal growth rather than being stuck in a cycle of negativity. By practicing recognition and acceptance, you can significantly reduce the power negative thoughts have over you, allowing you to move beyond them with greater ease and resilience. This process of conscious acceptance helps relieve the burden of these thoughts, paving the way for a more balanced and positive outlook on life. Thank you for watching.